there seems to be a feeling it's a little light in the first round this year in terms of grades. And I wondered what each of you thought of that belief, and how does that impact how you approach, how you do things in the first round, particularly as your pick comes up.
Yeah, look, I think we would agree with that. And look, in normal years, there's usually X amount of this, X amount of that, when you look in the first 15 picks. And I think that maybe it's a little bit more highlighted by the early 17 picks, but it's just depending on the team. And so, look, it's good to be picking 20 then, if that's the case, because I think, look, we've all heard and read, I don't, depending on where you're at and what you need, there is a point where we feel like, we can get a similar player at this portion of the first round that you might be able to get maybe 7 picks up, and you might be able to get 7 picks into the second. And I think our board would reflect a little bit of what you just asked.
And I just think, last year and other years, last year we had 6 quarterbacks in the first round, so that pushed a number of good players, down to the 15s and 20s that typically wouldn't be there. This year, there's maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and maybe 1 in the top 10, maybe, who knows. But we think, there's going to be a similar player at 10 that probably there's going to be a 20, just in our grades. We have more players in that area than we do 1 through 10. And so, you just kind of work your board, you set your strategy based on that. We do think there's some strength in the, maybe the middle round, maybe second, third, and fourth.